Today we are learning about determinants. It's a magic number in a matrix. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I'll tell you that right now. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so for this, you write down the first two columns on this side, only for a 3 by 3 matrix. 7, 6, -3, 8, 10, and 2. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to cross these out diagonally, the first 3 columns right here, and then you multiply them each together. So that is a high number, 280. Bit of math. Alright, that's 280. That one's 0, so we don't have to care about that. And this, I'm pretty sure, is 72. Yep, 72. And then we minus this, going upwards, like that. So now what we do is, that's 0, we don't care about that. 7, 3, and 2. 42, I think. No. -42. Slugging it, teacher. So then, 8 times 6 times 4. 6 1 is 48 times 4 is 192. Alright, so now we add this up. 280 plus 72 is 352. Minus 192 minus 142 is 150. So minus 150. And before I solve this problem, I just want to say I ran 8 miles today. Feeling pretty good. Alright, and when I do this, where the answer comes out to 202. This will be a test problem. Good job, minors.
Action.
Okay, so we're going to be working on a 4 by 4 matrix. Now, you don't see this too often in our math book or on any of our tests, but it's a more complicated matrix, and it will be a little more fun for us to do as a class. So, we're going to start off just like we would in the 3 by 3. We got to pick a row or a column that would be easiest in order to expand this equation. But actually, before we do that, we're going to add plus or minus to it, just like you would with the 3 by 3. So we'll start off. Fairly easy. You just rotate, and the second row has to start with minus. Third row starts with plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Now that we've done this, now let's go ahead and pick our row or column that we want to do now. If you look at our third row, and on first sight you might think this is easy. Oh, we got 1s and we got 0. But if you look and you see our third column, you see, look, we have 2 zeros. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pick that as our column. So, since we have these 2 zeros right here, we don't even have to worry about expanding that part of the matrix. So let's start off with our 6 right here. And we see it's a positive, so we don't have to mess with it. So it's just 6. And then since it's a 4 by 4, we actually have to expand it into a 3 by 3 matrix. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross out the row the 6 is in. We're going to cross out the column. So now we have our 3 by 3 matrix right here. So we got a 2, a 7, a 2, a 7, and a 6. And we have a 1, a 5, and a 1. And a 3, a 7, and a 7. So right now we got an expanded matrix, and make sure you take note that this is a positive 6. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and just create our second 3 by 3 matrix while we're at it, and this time we're going to use a 3. But looking at it, we'd see that because of the negative up here, it's actually going to be a -3. So when we add these two matrices together, we're going to be adding a -3. And then again, we see that we cross out the row, the column, so we have a 2, a 6, and a 2. We have a 1, a 5, and a 1 again. And we have a 3, a 7, and a 7 again. So now we have our problem, this matrix right here, expanded into two separate matrices. So now what we're going to do is we're going to once again expand these two matrices, but just like we did before, we're going to have to do our plus and minuses again. So pretty simple. Plus minus plus, minus plus, minus plus, minus plus. Let's go ahead and do it to this matrix while we're at it. Get it out of the way. Plus minus plus, minus plus, minus plus, minus, and a plus. So we got that done. Let's go ahead and we're going to expand this one again. It's very simple. We've already seen a 3x3 matrix done once, so you should already know how to do this. It's not complicated. So first off, let's go ahead and pick a row. So looking at this, seemingly our easiest looking one is going to be our middle row. So let's start with our 1. We're going to cross out the column it's in, the row it's in, and we see that it's a negative, so we're going to do negative 1, or we're going to put it in parentheses because we still have our 6 out here. So we got our 6 multiplied by negative 1 times, we got a 2x2 matrix, and that's going to be, I can write it, a 7, a 6, a 7, and a 7. So 7, 6, 7, 7, and then we're going to seal off that, plus, and then we got right here, we got a positive 5, so we don't even really need that parentheses. Actually, let's keep it anyways. So we got positive 5 times, let's cross out, or not times, matrix C, and then let's cross out its row and its column. So we got a 2 and a 6, and we have a 3 and a 7. And then lastly, we have a 1 again. And again, once again, because of the sign of pair, it's a negative 1. So it's going to be plus negative 1 times, let's look at our, cross it out. Good, we got a 2 and a 7 and a 3 and a 7. 7. Oh, well, it's like in a ditch. It's supposed to be a matrix C. Okay, simplify that. Here we go. So now, like we did in our 3x3 matrix C, it's very simple. You'd normally write it out, so it'd be negative 1 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 6. But since we know that already, let's go ahead and make it quicker. We know 7 times 7 is 49, so 49, and it's actually supposed to be subtract. 7 times 6, that's 42, and then times negative 1. So looking at that, that's a negative 7. Fairly simple. Okay, so going to our next part, we got 5 times this matrix C. So just like we did right here, it's 2 times 7, which is 14, minus 3 times 6. So that's 14 minus 18, so times 5. So 14 minus 18, negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. So plus negative 20. Then moving to our next one, we got 2 times 7 is 14, minus 3 times 7 is 27. So 14 minus 27, or 27 is negative 7, times negative 1 is positive 7. So pretty simple. Looking at this, we got this cancels out, this cancels out, so it leaves us with negative 20, and we still got our 6 over here. So negative 20 times 6 is the answer to this matrix C right here, is negative 120. Go ahead. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with this part. We got 6 times 7, which is 42, and then 7 times 2 is 14. So 42 minus 14 is, let's do it right here. We get 28 out of that. So 28, since we know that, let's go ahead and erase this. So 28 times our negative 1, so it's negative 28. if you can see that. And then continuing on, we got 2 times 7, which is 14, minus 6 equals 8. So times 5, we got 40. We got our 40 right here. Let's go ahead and add it right here. So plus 40. And then in our last part, we got 2 times 7, which is 14, minus 18, which is negative 4 times 1 is 4. Got it right here. Plus 4. Okay, so we got negative 28, 40, and 4. Adding those together, we get 44 here. Then we might as well just minus 28 from 44. Doing that, we get 16. So now we go to negative 3. It's 16 times negative 3 equals negative 48. So now, going back over here to our negative 120, we add negative 48 to it. So negative 120 plus 48 equals our final answer of negative 168. And that is our determinant of our 4x4 matrix. Good job, miners.